Hello, welcome to the next video for IPFW Study Abroad process. And today we're going to be talking about the ISEP Study Abroad application. You can find this application online and you'll see that both I and ISEP have access to your application once you get started. So we're happy to help you at any time, but hopefully this video will help you kind of go through it on your own. So first of all, please visit ipfw.edu/study-abroad, and you'll see on the very last link there's a page just for ISEP Study Abroad. And on this page there's a lot of the links that you need, such as a reminder about exchange versus direct and what that means, reminder about eligibility, and the steps for how to actually apply for those programs. As a reminder, you do need to fill out the IPFW Study Abroad application. You need to have at least a 2.5 GPA, be in good academic and discipline standing, and have completed at least 2 semesters on a college campus before you go. So here is the link to the ISEP online application. And you'll see that they also have their own checklist here. Again, happy to help you at any time, but a lot of this you can go through on your own. It'll be an online application where you'll need to create an account, and you can see that you'll need to find up to 10 places, and you can list them in order of preference of where you would like to go. You should not list places that you're not willing to go to, because what happens is ISEP looks at your application, and first they compare you to your number 1, and they look at preferences and your goals and the courses that you need, and if you're not in the top for your number 1, then they go to your number 2, then your number 3. Then you'll get an email that says, congratulations, you've been placed at Pontificia Universidad de Valparaíso in Chile. And then the program has a chance to review your application and accept your application, and then finally you'll get the chance to get it back. And you'll have the final say if you want to participate in that program or not. So the materials you actually need for your application, you can see here. You'll need 10 places, up to 10 places in order of preference. I would recommend at least 3 or at least 4 maybe. At least one of those programs should be good, very good, or excellent chance of placement. The other materials that you'll need are courses for each program that you wish to take there, and then up to 5 to 8 courses for each school. And then you'll also need a letter of recommendation from somebody who's had you in a college classroom. That could be an academic advisor or a professor. You're welcome to add more letters of recommendation, perhaps from a coach or a boss, if you would like to make your application more competitive, but you most definitely need one just for the classroom as well. And you'll need an official transcript that you can get in Kettler, pay $8, or you can get a free one if you're a Purdue student online and have it emailed to me. I can upload it for you, or you can just bring your official transcript here, and again, I can upload that for you. And finally, you'll need a personal statement, both in English and the host language that you hope to study in, if applicable, and then a language evaluation if you're planning on taking classes in a language other than English. So those are all the materials that you need. Now I'm going to show you the actual application. So I just have a sample application here that I have made, and you'll see that it's fairly straightforward at first. You just put your name, your GPA, what program, what you're hoping to study while abroad, what year you are. Make sure that you get this year right. What year do you hope to go abroad? This section, one placement would mean that you just hope to go to one location and then come home again. 2 placements would be maybe you spend the fall semester in Ireland and the spring semester in South Africa, or maybe the spring semester in China and the summer semester in Estonia. So that's what that means. You can go to 2 different places in one application. And then you would choose for how long you hope to be abroad, and then hit save and continue. Once you have that set up, then you're able to add courses to your host site request list. So you'll see I have a lot of courses here already. To add a course, you simply choose for which program that you're hoping to go. Make sure you're picking exchange or direct correctly. If you need help with deciding which one you would like, then you can ask me for help. Then you pick what country you're hoping to go to. Select which program you're hoping to join. And then this is almost always regular university courses. And then you write something here about why this campus. This is the only chance that you have of telling ISEP why this school over any other school. So this could be something with your academic goals, your personal goals, geography goals. Remember that it should be professional. Can't be just like, I don't know, sounds cool, or I like the beach. But it should also be maybe aligned with your major or certain family history with the location. Could be anything. And don't forget, I will review all of this before we turn it in, so don't be nervous about what you write. Something else I would like to point out here, you can actually have a mix of exchange and direct on your list. So if you're really hoping to get into a certain program that's hard to get into, you could always list it as exchange first, and then later add direct down the line. Like you really want to do an exchange program, but if you didn't get into any of these, you'd be willing to pay direct. That's where you could add that there. Another important thing to mention about this section is that all ISEP schools will appear in your drop-down menu here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that school is available during the semester that you chose. So to find out if it is available or not, you use the isepstudyabroad.org search for programs page and make sure that you choose the correct semester and year for which you would like to go, and then your programs would show up there. So if it's on this list, you can apply. If it's not on this list, then you should not add it to your host site request list. So after you have all of your courses, your programs here, and you can see that I can move them around as your preferences change, then you go to the course request list. And you list the courses that you're hoping to take at that university. You don't necessarily add IPFW courses here because think about it. ISEP or maybe the school in England doesn't know anything about IPFW classes, so there's no reason to list our course numbers. So here you would list the course number that you find in on each program's site, the course name, and then in other information you would add something that is relevant to that program. For example, any upper level expository writing course, or any course with linguistics, any communication culture class, any 300 level Spanish equivalent. So that's just helpful that they can see how flexible you are, or how much what type of courses that you're hoping to take there. You'll also see that the only required thing that you add is the actual course name. Sometimes programs don't have a course number. So if you can't find a course number, then you don't write that. If you must take these courses, then you should check this box. If the courses above cannot be met, I do not want to be placed at this institution. So they would check with the home institution if you can take those classes before they would move on to your number 2, number 3, number 4 choice. If that's not true, then do not click that button because you might not be placed at that institution. So once you have at least 5 to 8 courses at each institution, you're ready to move on to the next steps. As you can see, if you want to move on to different steps while you're still finding courses, that's okay. You can always come back to this page later, but the program cannot be approved until you have 5 to 8 courses for each program. And remember, you are not actually registering for these courses on this page. You're simply telling the host school, I'm hoping to take a variety of upper level Spanish courses. I'm hoping to take some business classes and some chemistry classes. And that gives them an idea of what you're actually hoping to take while you're there. And then when you actually are placed at the school and you're accepted and you're officially going, then you work with an advisor like me at the host institution and they help you sign up for classes. So the other types of materials that you need, we already discussed. Sometimes you'll need a language proficiency report if you hope to take classes outside of English. You'll need a personal statement. And if you see here, you click this arrow, then you'll see more instructions. You'll write this in English and another language if you're hoping to take lessons. As a reminder, I'm more than happy to help you with this type of essay, as is Career Services, who has walk-in hours every day, 10 to 2. They're very good at this type of thing. You'll need an academic reference. You'll see you'll put the faculty name and email here. However, do not do this until you ask their permission or their willingness to write you a letter, because otherwise when you hit submit, they'll get an automatic email, and that's not a really good way to receive a request. You'll also need a passport. If you do not yet have a passport, then you can just click this button and hit save and continue. However, it is very important that you start the process on getting a passport as soon as possible. We have a scanner here in our office. You're welcome to come in and use that. And same as a transcript. And then additional information, this is not required. This would just be extra information such as another letter of reference, maybe your resume, especially if you're applying for a internship type program. I've seen students upload specific course requirements that they're really hoping to find abroad, maybe a list of all of the courses in International Study Certificate if you're hoping to work for that abroad. So you and I can just discuss that on what we think might be necessary there. Once all areas are complete, and there'll be a check mark next to each of these, a button will appear here that says submit. That is submitted to me. Then I go through your entire application, I read every word again, I compare to each program. Sometimes on the program page, there'll be specific information about each program and what they might require on the actual application. So maybe you'll see must have 6 semesters of Spanish before you go, must upload also a resume or something like that. So sometimes you'll see that information here, or what they require. So make sure to check that before you turn your program in to me. But I will check that for you as well before I hit approve. So if I see something that needs fixing, I'll hit return to student. I'll probably send you an email like, hey, check out your personal statement, maybe rewrite this part, or you didn't add enough classes, please go add more courses. Let me know if you want help with that. If everything looks good, then I write you a coordinator reference, and then I hit submit. And at that point, neither of us can edit the application. It just comes back to you for you to pay the $100 application fee, and then it goes off to ISEP Land. If you get it in by the priority deadline, August 25th, September 1st for the fall, February 8th or February 15th for the spring, for the following semester, then there'll be about 4 weeks, and then you'll know where you're placed. So thank you for watching. I hope that you found this helpful. Please let me or Jacob, someone at ISEP, know if you need help with this process. We're happy at any time. But I think as you just start to work through it, it'll be pretty clear. Thank you.